Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We're sure glad to see you today. Today was the end of a fun period where we had a lot of memories, built an entry for the Pinewood 2x4 contest sponsored by Scoutcrafter. So stay with us while we take you on our journey, share with you the fun we had, and show you what we created.
Well, I'm working on the Scoutcrafter challenge of building the car, and I'm still looking for that inspiration. I don't know what I'm going to build, so the first thing I did was cut out 12-inch section of 2x4, reasonable piece of wood, and then I struggled with wheels. I tried this, I made this, it didn't work. I looked at everything I could, looked online for wheels, and I said, heck, I'm going to make wheels. That's what we're in the product. That's what we do. So I put the hole saw in my drill press and first cut out a 2-inch wheel, and or 2 1/4 inch. It wasn't big enough, so I decided to go with a 3-inch wheel. Got these cut out and put it up here to see, how it would look. Maybe I'll go with that shape. That seems to fit my wheels a little better, because that's all I've been able to make so far are some wheels, and I've still got to finish those out and make them look right, more like just a flat slab wheel. So I'll work on the wheels for a while, and maybe some inspiration will come to me and I can decide what kind of car I'm going to build. Well, I'm working on the Scoutcrafter 2x4 car challenge, and part of the way through, and look at the mess. I mean, I keep my shop neat, and this is after I've cleaned a couple of times, and then an hour or so later, I'm back again. This is quite a chore. Got tools out everywhere. Got scraps everywhere. Hard to keep it clean, because I keep, cleaning up, putting stuff up, and then getting more out. That's what it looks like now. I'll have to do a major cleaning afterwards, and maybe out of all of this mess will arise a nice project for the challenge. I don't know what this challenge is going to cost me. I didn't have a decent sanding block, and I've fallen in love with these mesh sanding sheets that made by Diablo, and I saw this down at the depot, which was a sanding block, which has got a cushion side and then a harder side to go against different type surfaces and more contour surfaces, that uses these stick-on sanding sheets. So I got my starter pack there with sanding sheets and the sanding block, and I saw Scoutcrafter using a handsaw, and I thought, I don't even have a decent handsaw for wood. I mean, I've got metal saws and so forth. So I saw this Stanley saw, and had some of those newer design teeth. Says an 8 to 9 tooth combination, and I bought it, and I tell you, it works great. So now I bought a saw, I bought the sanding pad, I bought some more wood 2x to get a decent piece out of it, and I just keep going on and on. I got to get to the car build. I got to quit buying tools, but I'm certainly glad to get some newer items that'll make my hand work a lot better. Well, here are some more steps along the way on the 2x4 car build, and I showed you the wheels that I cut out, and then I went ahead and, of course, painted them black because tires are black. And then I was trying to come up with an idea of finishing the wheel, and then I got a hold of these 1.5-inch fender washers, and I said, well, that would make a decent hubcap, but I'm going with an old car. I have reached that decision, and they don't have hubcaps like that. So I decided that, and I came up with an idea of a wheel hub here. So it was looking good, but I'm going with an old car, so I needed to decorate the wheel. So let me tell you what, I made the wheels first, and then I made the car. So here's where I ended up with the wheel. So here's my idea of some old wheels and rims, tires and rims. So that inspired me to continue on down the path I've chosen, which is an older, much older vehicle. We do old tools, so maybe a vehicle about 100 years or thereabouts old. So we rusted it up a bit, and then I made my first idea of the automobile I was working on, but I abandoned this as I'm just showing you what I was working on. The problem with this was just a terrible piece of wood, and it didn't matter how much I sanded and sanded and sanded. That coarse grain just was still there. That wouldn't do for a finished item. Plus, I didn't like the design. It was something I just did at first, and I didn't like it. So I would just kept messing with it and messing with it and messing with it. And so this is going in the trash. I'm going to redo the whole thing. The next thing I'm going to do is go down and get a new piece of 2x4, but to get a top grade of wood. This was just some stuff I had around the shop, and I can't get any finish like that indecent on this, no matter how much I sanded and what I did. So we're going to start that over. But to tell you the truth, I did the wheels first, and then now I'm going to do the body of the car. Okay, the build is finished. Let me give you a little history on this before I show you the finished item. My grandpa was named John. He had a farm in Texas. I used to spend my summers there. I used to follow him around forever. We were great buddies, and always enjoyed our time together. And he also, he taught me how to drive his old truck, his old car, his old floor shift then was something different. And also we'd ride the truck to the cotton gin to haul all the cotton that was harvested at the gin. And so I got to thinking about him and his old truck, and that's where I got the inspiration for the truck I did. And it was as if that truck was parked out in the fields for the last 70 or 80 years and exposed to the elements. So here's the finished truck I made to duplicate the old farm truck from my grandpa. And that's what I remember the truck looking like, a 1930s model. Probably wasn't this exact same thing, but it was from my old memory. And what I did was gave it a finish. As you can see, the rust that had accumulated over the years. The truck itself was built out of one single piece of 2x4 by 12 inch 2x4. The only thing that was not were the wheel hubs and the axles. The wheel hubs themselves made out of that flat washer that I modified, fender washer, and then of course aged. And the rest, and the wheels themselves I did make. I cut those out of a piece of one by that wasn't part of the project, but the wheels were supposedly an extra item. I just want them to be wooden wheels too. Also, some interesting elements on the truck. If you look on the side, you'll see even put the louvers in the hood. The fender and the step on it with some thinly sliced wood, and I soaked that fender piece in boiling water and then bent it into shape and dried it into that shape. So that's how I created the fender. Around the front, the radiator just simulated an old corroded radiator, how it would look. And the headlights themselves were made out of wood, along with the front bumper, which was true on a lot of old trucks. A piece of timber they put across there for a bumper that they could replace when it got beat up. You can see the body of it here, the heavy rust. Also, another feature on this one would be the old scuffed up dirty windshield that I actually put in there. The back of the truck, the bed of it, again simulated a piece of old wood that was rotten but still standing. And as you can see, that rust is a real enemy, as like it is to all our tools. This is the opposite of our tools, where we take the rust off. This one I had to add the rust to get the look. But the truck itself turned out pretty neat. I like it. It really shows what a truck would look like weathered, and also something that gave me a good memory. Now, as far as the Pinewood Derby, I got to say this truck probably is not going to come in first place. We don't know till we've run a race, but probably not. But this old truck would be a fun item to crawl in and to just take a real pleasure ride. That would be a ball to ride in that truck again, like I did when I was a kid. So I had a lot of fun, brought back a lot of good memories. The build was a lot of work, but it was a work of just pure love. I loved every minute of it. Thanks to Scoutcrafter for bringing up this challenge. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my story and my video. Thank you for watching.